Previously on Follow the Leader. Today we're playing Things Eldritch and Terrifying by S. Gates, otherwise known as me. For those of you who are new to this game, here are the basics. This is a game about eldritch terrors and temptation. There exist many terrible creatures beyond our mortal ken, which prowl the universe looking for new things to conquer, to own, to devour. They lurk beyond the edges of our plane, but that doesn't mean they don't see us. They covet our world. They want to take it as theirs, but there is a locked door between their plane of existence and ours. The way to overcome this is simple. Convince someone on the other side to open the door and let them in.
So, I am going to be playing a Terror, one of the extraplanar eldritch entities that claw at the boundaries of our world. And I have to specify their true form, and I'm going for a humanoid. The ones with 2 wide grins, 2 thin frames, and 2 dark eyes. Through either chance or choice, these terrors look largely like humans. The adjectives I have chosen for this terror are subtle, shadowed, and haunting. They use any and all pronouns, and the name I'm going to be using in this instance is Umbra.
I too have inhabited the role of terror. In this case, I've chosen an abstract one. Abstract here would be the ever-shifting, the formless, the nameless, representing less beings so much as concepts. Here it's made of colors that mortal minds cannot comprehend, an entity made of infinitely interlocking globes of fire, and the embodiment of the fear of the dark, all of which could be abstract terror. I will fully admit to cribbing in this case, as I was telling Jade and August before we started all this. I got King Giz in the mind. I have put together the color under blue. The adjectives that I've chosen for them are non-Euclidean, impossible, and melodious. Pronouns will be they, its.
I will be playing the human of the bunch. I'm going to be playing Marnie Sands, she, her pronouns. The adjectives that I've chosen for her are scattered, cheerful, and suggestible. She is a young woman with blue hair with electric green dip-dyed tips, and an openly kind face. Her clothes, in this case, probably her mining jumpsuit, seems to be about a half size too big. But she has, like, brightly colored patches on it that she's either sewn on or ironed on. Marnie just snatches her hand away immediately and like, turns away for a moment. But then, after the shock of, like, the unexpected, half expected heat, and the way that her eyes can't quite wrap themselves around the colors within the sun, she looks back and she says, "If I take this, what happens next?"
It is your invitation to come here again. And if you so will it, to enter the skies with me.
At that moment, something starts to beep at Marnie's waist, and she goes, "Oh, shit, I've been out here too long, and she takes the prism, just, like, kind of snags it, and stuffs it into one pocket on her jumpsuit, and says, I've got to go. I've been out here too long."
Yeah, the stars will disassemble. And I think that prism on touch, one, the sun within it dims, but two, for it being so angular, it feels almost like a marble of glass to hold.
Love it. Love an object that its physicality doesn't quite make sense.
Love to touch a thing that doesn't feel how it looks.
Yeah. So that's a point of favor.
Yay.
We now return to to your game already in progress. So, I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to guess that Marnie accepting this gift has repercussions, like ripples in reality, perhaps, that may attract someone else's attention. So I don't think this scene is going to be too long after what just happened.
Very fair.
If you're cool with that, Jade. I know I'm making some assumptions.
No, it's good.
So I think Marnie's inside. She's caught her breath. I'm trying to decide if... I think maybe she's in, like, the greenhouse now. Like, this is a place that kind of is grounding. Like, after what just happened, you know, she's kind of, like, second-guessing herself. Like, she's got the prism in her pocket, but it's like, you know, maybe I was just hallucinating. That was low oxygen. I was out there for too long.
Sure, and I don't know, the head gardener, whatever the job is, hydroponics officer, chief botanist, steps in and sees you, and it's just like, Marnie, are you okay?
Yeah, sorry, it's been a weird couple of days.
Sure. And sort of takes a step closer to you. Do you need anything?
Nah, thanks though. I just wanted to be somewhere green.
Just green. Smiles. There's other stuff flowering in here.
Well, I mean, other colors are nice too. And she winces a little as those words leave her mouth. Almost like she's afraid of invoking the color under blue.
The botanist smile takes on a slight sharpness, like almost like a rictus grin, a little bit, like they've forgotten how to face properly. If you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like, no, you should look and see.
Marnie hesitates, and then she kind of like takes a half step back.
And I think if you like this idea, by accepting the prism, you're like starting to get shrimp colors. Like, it was always colorful in here, but now it's more so. You are seeing color or patterns on flowers you couldn't see before, in the way, you know, like some creatures have markings that you can only see under UV. You are seeing more of the light spectrum than you were before.
Love it. Love it.
And the prism is getting warmer again. Or maybe it's not gotten warm, but you've become aware of the warmth there.
Not quite burning a hole in my pocket, but definitely there.
Yeah. You took something. It offered you something and you took it. And now you can see more.
How'd you know?
It's all over you. You smell like star stuff. And as the botanist gets closer, the letters on their ID badge have twisted, and now you can make out the name Umbra. And on the ID badge is a photo of the botanist, and the botanist's eyes are normally sort of like a greenish, greyish blue sort of colour.
Mm-hmm.
But as you look at the botanist now, the irises are black. And the irises look like they're getting bigger as black fills the sclera until it's just pitch black eyes looking at you.
You're the one from my room.
I told you were smart. Perceiving isn't just about seeing, about understanding. What did it give you? What did they promise? What wonders of the universe?
I think Marnie pulls out the prism. I know that Umbra said that she was perceptive, but I don't know that she necessarily can detect the disdain.
Sure.
So she pulls out the prism and holds it in the palm of her hand.
They offered you a rock on the first date. Must be serious.
At that, Marnie laughs. A kind of incredulous, nervous laugh. And she says, That's not it.
You sure?
Well, it's... And Marnie, stumbles over her words some more and doesn't quite get out a coherent protest. She's just it's not... It's rude to turn down a gift, okay?
Okay. I don't think less of you for accepting a gift. You deserve gifts.
Thanks? I think?
You're welcome. What do they want from you? Did they tell you? Was it honest?
Does it lie?
Everything lies.
Even you?
Of course. Anything that can reason can lie.
And a thought strikes Marnie, and she says, "What if I'd lied to you about this?" And she closes her hand around the prism and puts it back in her pocket.
Point of clarity. Is Marnie saying, what if I lied about where I got this?
Yes.
I think the botanist chuckles. You'd have to be a better liar. But it's a good start, I suppose. To lie is to be human, Marnie sounds. And you are very wonderfully human. Keep your bauble. Just ask questions. It wants something. And make sure you understand what it wants before you give it.
Are you possessing Doc Brown? Or do you just look like them?
I have borrowed the good doctor for a moment to talk to you. It is bright here.
Is the doc gonna be okay?
I believe so.
How can I tell if you're lying?
Well, an excellent question. I suppose you won't know until I've left Seek me out. If you wish to talk more to me, I will leave the good doctor. Enjoy the colours, Miss Sands. And then Dr. Brown blinks, and you see greyish, greenish, bluish eyes looking back at you. And Doc Brown looks a little bit like, when you do the I walked in here to get something and I've forgotten what it was kind of expression.
Mm-hmm.
That's the vibe.
Door moment.
Yep. And Marnie's like, hey, you feeling okay?
Yeah, I think I've got a migraine coming on. It seems really bright in here more than usual anyway. Oh, maybe I just need more caffeine or less caffeine. Who knows?
Maybe start with less, but yeah, thanks for checking in on me. I'll see you later.
Okay. Doesn't remember walking in here to check on you. Doesn't
Yeah.
say that.
Marnie didn't think of that.
Mm-hmm.
She just wanted an excuse to get out.
Yeah, no, fair.
I hate to do this to you, Jade, but this is...
No, don't. It's great. It's great. Umbra was being a little freak.
The fact that you have introduced the concept of I could be lying to you has set Marnie on edge.
That's fair.
So
that's fair.
Very good, though.
I was thinking along the lines of like all lies come from somewhere, and just like I am the shadows, I am the dark, made into a person shape. Why would I tell you that lies don't happen? Lies do happen. And that's sort of very yeah. Why would I tell you that lies aren't happening?
This is the core essence of my being.
You think incomprehensible entities that exist on planes and in spectrums that you can only barely comprehend don't tell lies?
They
Smoke
tell
and mirrors,
truths.
baby. Light is all about lies.
No,
the
it's
truths
good.
you can't perceive either.
No, I am working under the mentality, a little peek behind the curtain for you guys and our listeners, that Umber is nowhere near on the scale of the color under blue. Like, it is powerful in its own right, but is not that kind of big conceptual thing. That's the fun part of being an abstract entity versus something that is a reflection of humans and is human shaped at its core. So it is very much like, oh, come on. You can get anybody. Why can't I have this human to let me in? You're so big and colorful. Everyone pays attention to you. I'm just lurking around behind you.
Actually, this game is who would win, the omnipresence of something or just a funny little guy.
Well, this is like the two concepts of something both courting just a guy, as it were.
Yeah, that's also
so.
God.
Look, sometimes you play things out of Terra and you want to play it like a rom-com, actually. Actually, look, I know he's super cool and has like magic and gave you a big ass diamond, but have you considered that I'm really kooky and weird? Wouldn't you much rather date a manic pixie dream entity?
I put my vote for Umbra. I love Umbra. The audience poll is in.
Vote now on your phones.
And to be fair, I love the color under blue. Like, it's like I can experience the universe and I want to share it, even if it is just a ploy to get into this universe. Just like, let me show you the world. I am bored of it by seeing it by myself. I want to see it through your eyes because then I get to experience it again.
Smiling and nodding, yes.
Blue's great.
Blue's great.
Speaking of.
Yes. We are on our last scene each.
To be clear, Umber and the color under blue are much less combative than the last time I played things Eldritch and Terrifying with August.
Yes. memories.
Times.
I desire to hear this afterwards.
Is it on main feed or is it Patreon?
I don't recall. I know it's on the Google Drive.
Yeah, we'll have to get that for you, Corey, because that's a fun ass game.
Yeah.
Aye.
Oh boy. So I want some time to have passed, like more than just a few days.
Yeah.
I think maybe this is maybe a few weeks later.
Has the moon done a cycle of whatever planet it orbits?
Ooh, yes.
Oh, very good.
I don't think this moon is tidally locked.
Sure. But still, it's orbiting something.
Yeah. But yeah, it's done its cycle around the planet by this point, and I think this is Marnie lying in bed, and the prism is on the little shelf that serves as a nightstand, and she's just looking at it. Has what it shows changed in any way, or is it still just that sun?
Yeah, I think it's dependent on where Marnie points it to some extent. Like, certain angles will still show that sun, but as she moves it around and turns it, there's other things that will show gas giants, asteroids. The interesting thing about all of those is, like, the gas giants, when they swirl, like if you take a Jupiter example, it's seeing under the clouds like an X-ray. With the asteroids, there are patterns on there from the solar radiation that they've been bombed by, which wouldn't normally show. Otherwise, they'd just be featureless gray rocks. So other celestial bodies out there that are illuminated or even sort of dissected in ways that would not normally be seen.
Okay. Cool. I think maybe this is a case of like Marnie has had a rough day and she's trying to sleep and like hoping that the shifting patterns of a gas giant will lull her.
Yeah, okay. How about this? So Marty's looking through that prism, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think there is... The prism itself will flicker for a bit, and on that shelf, there appears in sort of the wall, like inside of it, there appears an entrance, a door, with just a small knob. And like that giant is flickering. It's the form is visible through it, that door, and it just creaks open slightly.
At that, Marnie sits up. I don't think she was particularly close to sleep at this point, so she's just kind of on alert, looking around, trying to gauge if anything else is weird in her quarters.
Yeah, no, if everything else is actually rather untouched, it's just this door. And it looks like a mouse could fit through it, but it's there, and it's just cracked open very slightly. Behind it, the colors of that gas giant are sort of spilling out.
Oh boy. Marnie is suggestible, so I think she pokes at the door.
Yeah, okay. Like opening or closing in this case.
Like opening.
Okay.
Like hooking a finger around the edge of the door and like pulling it open a little bit.
Yeah, all right. There's this very distinct feeling, right? You are much larger than a mouse, Marnie Sands, but you could enter this door. You could just walk in.
I'm trying not to lose my composure.
That's fair. I've already lost it.
To be clear, I was just thinking before I posted this GIF in the chat of as Corey painted that really beautiful word description, just like this door prego, just like my brain is so like eldritch / monster fucker pilled because my immediate response was to go hot.
What?
Jade, What is your brain? So yeah, there you go.
The unknowable concept of being invited inside a small space. I do it.
For clarity, I pictured a GIF. I posted a GIF of a streamer of some kind singing "Love Is an Open Door."
Oh boy.
But yeah, it's there. You can see the colors. It's there. It's open, and you can fit. Like logic and reason tells you can't, but don't listen to that.
Nothing bad has ever happened by going into a strange multicolored door. Like all the media, like this is just Alice in Wonderland all over again. This is Dorothy. This is peak. Cool, strange young woman goes through a door to a magical place.
And one that only your fingers should fit through physically, and yet.
Oh,
Now,
so this is a macro thing. Gotcha.
your entire body will fit. You know this.
Sorry, I think I just sniped August.
Oh my god.
Oh shit, did I hit on something outside of everything?
No.
No, we just know somebody that posts stuff about like macro and micro.
Oh, okay. Woo!
Nah. Rather than trying to enter, I think she calls out color under blue.
That tone that you heard in that first encounter will drift forward at acknowledgement from the door.
I think it's at this point that Marnie takes a deep breath. Because she's been thinking about what Umbra said. And thinking about the ways in which she could be being lied to. And she says, "What do you want from me, really?"
For you to see. To tell others how to see.
Are you lying?
Why would someone lie about wanting to be seen?
I don't know, someone said something and I just wanted to be sure.
The shadow in the corner of a room, I presume.
Rude.
More than a shadow, but... Do you know him?
For every sun, there is an umbra. The space between the stars. That which lies unlit. Which will shrink away the very presence of one like myself. We both exist in the places that cannot be seen. But I am within sight. They're there when your back is turned.
Umbra said it wanted in.
We all do. All of us outside want to have our time in the light.
Oh boy.
But this is an experience you can share with others. I only ask to be seen.
I get it, I think.
Yeah, that door fully swings open now, and for how small it is, the shifting, swirling colors of that gas giant start to extend further out towards the rest of the room. It casts a harsh relief, because of course it's the bounds of the shelf. It still can't physically penetrate past that. But it is so bright and almost like a kaleidoscope with colors there that shouldn't be, there that should be, that only stand out even further against the shadows around. If you wish to enter, I have given you the key. And the prism will pulse a bit with that same light.
Marnie takes a deep breath, and I think she takes the prism. What happens if I go in?
You will be on the other side of a world, exactly the same as this one, but you will be changed. You will see more than others ever could, but as you start to explain it to them, they will be able to see too. This door is one way. That key can be used once only.
Let me think about it. That's kind of a lot.
I have nothing but time. Knock twice and enter when you are ready. And with that, the door will slowly close, shutting out that brilliant light from before.
So I am going to reward a token of favor, and I am going to tell you that you definitely hit on Marnie's weakness in that scene.
Beauty.
So
I am so excited to know what the actual shape of that is.
I know the humans are supposed to set the scene, but I'm kind of wondering when Umbra would choose to come to Marnie next. It's my game. I can break the rules.
Yeah.
Absolutely. As we like to say, the author is napping.
Yes.
Or in this case, the author is here and it's just like, I wrote the rules, flings the book aside.
Yes.
I make the choices.
Yeah.
I feel like I've lacked subtlety.
Hmm.
Or being haunting. I've definitely managed to do shadows. That I've leaned into. I suppose there is some subtlety. Like, I'm not opening doors in prisms in dimensions.
Yeah.
You know, it's relative. I suppose, like, hanging out in the dark in somebody's room and possessing their work colleague is actually kind of subtle, all things considered.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think you've hit that.
The difference between you have arranged a troop of machines to welcome yourself into this world in some form, and you're in someone's room and you tell them to take their shoes off before they go to bed.
Yeah, no. Well, then, when you put it that way.
Yeah, very subtle, I would
Sound
say.
like I've done a very good job. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support. Thank you, friends. I think... I can use a move more than once, right? I'm not obliged to...
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's going to be in a dream that Umbra comes to Marnie. And I don't know, what are Marnie's dreams typically like? Does she remember her dreams? Does she tend to have really like run-of-the-mill stuff? Does she dream in color? Does she dream in black and white? That last question is actually very important.
I think especially now, like she's mostly dreamed in color, but I think especially now her dreams are much more colorful. I think most of it's, kind of run-of-the-mill boring stuff she doesn't remember. Sometimes she has like epic narrative dreams that seem to come out of nowhere.
Okay, well, with all that in mind, I think this dream Marnie finds herself in. What was the name of the place she was from, you said? Can you remember?
Keeper 328.
Okay, so she's back on Keeper 328. But the atmosphere is clear enough, and she can see the stars in a way she never could when she was actually there. And that's sort of how she immediately knows it's a dream. But it's one of those dreams that feel very real. She's not like fully in lucid dreaming mode, but it's definitely sort of like, oh, yeah, no, this couldn't be real, so I must be dreaming. And you're on like a swing set or some kind of like playground equipment. Actually, I like the idea of you being on a swing and somebody's pushing you on the swing.
I love it. And because it's a dream and it's dream logic, even though I'm like, I know I'm dreaming, I just accept it.
Yeah. So this is where you grew up?
Yeah, I mean, I know it's not much, but it's home.
Do you miss it?
Marnie takes a moment to consider. Sometimes, I mean, it was small and it's kind of crummy in some ways, but I miss it sometimes.
They say we can never go back. Like we can return to a place, but we change. And so the place is not the same, because we are not the same. Is that sad?
I think so.
Looking back is not in my nature. I am what is back. I am behind.
Is that why you're behind me now?
I keep telling you, you're smart.
Marnie kind of puts her feet out to stop herself from swinging, and she turns around.
Please don't turn around.
She stops. You want in. The color wants to be seen.
Of course it does.
It said you're both outside, is that true?
Yes. Not in the same way, but yes. It is difficult to explain.
If you were inside, what would you do?
And you can feel this deep sort of inhale and exhale as Umbra contemplates the question. I don't know. I just know I want to be.
I get that.
I cannot offer you things like it can. It is the nature of being the absence of something. To follow, to be behind, always at the whim of where the light is. Though it is as dependent on me in its way.
It's okay. I think I want to wake up now.
As you wish. May I offer you a word of advice?
Yeah?
Do not look so long that you are blinded by it, even if I am able to be there in the darkness for you afterwards. I would have you choose it, not be forced into it, at the whim of something more powerful than I am. Good luck, Marnie Sands. Walk in the light. I'll be able to follow behind you. And you wake up.
Oh boy. So Umbra also hit on Marnie's weakness. So that's a point of favor.
What if your shadow was a little bit in love with you?
Yeah, actually.
Actually.
All right. After we've played the correct number of scenes, the game ends. We gather up our tokens of favor and revulsion. And we have a deck of cards here, which I forgot to shuffle, so I'm going to shuffle it. And both the human and the terrors draw one card to start. So I'm just going to deal one card to everybody.
Okay.
All right. Then, for each token of favor, the terror draws an additional card. So, Corey, you'd draw 3 additional cards. Jade, you'd draw 2 additional cards.
Okay. Draw 3.
And then for each token of revulsion, I draw a card. So, I'm going to draw 1. Once all the cards have been drawn, compare the values, where 2 is the lowest and ace is the highest. If I have the highest card, then the terrors fail to make it into our plane of existence. If one of the terrors has the highest card, I invite them in. In the case of a draw, we kind of talk it out to figure out what would be the outcome, and since this is a 3-player variant, if both terrors have values higher than mine, then I get to choose which gains entry, or I may also choose to invite both terrors in. So
Marnie has 2 hands.
Marnie does have 2 hands.
Alrighty.
So,
what is your highest card, folks?
I've got a king of clubs.
What's your highest card, Jade? Oh,
Oh, that's so funny. This is so funny. Oh,
Oh my
my good
God.
lord.
Jade had an ace, and I also have an ace.
Specifically,
man.
I had the Ace of Hearts. Just saying.
That's so funny.
That is incredibly funny.
That is amazing, though. That's a king and two aces.
Yeah,
Holy
but also
shit.
think about it this way: you got one way a value match, the other way a suit match.
Oh.
Marty has two hands. I'm telling
I
you.
I don't disagree. I think Marnie does have two hands. Yeah, if y'all are okay with it, I do think Marnie has two hands.
Oh, yeah. No,
Oh,
absolutely. I want to
absolutely.
hear how this goes.
Since it's a draw, we get to decide, and that's what we've decided. So, yeah. So based on this outcome, we work together to narrate the fate of the human, the terror, and our plane of existence. Things we may wish to consider are the nature of the relationship between the human and the terror, what the terror wishes to do upon entry, and what influence the human may have on this desire. So I think, were either of y'all lying about what you wanted?
No.
No, definitely not.
Okay. So I think this looks like Marnie going to the door, like knocking twice, just as she had been instructed, holding the prism in one hand, and she reaches behind herself into her shadow, as if asking for a hand to hold.
That's so good and gay. Can I also say what's just occurred to me that's realised what we've done with these three characters?
Yeah, uh-huh.
We're literally the Dark Side of the Moon cover.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Jesus. I didn't even think about that.
Right?
Oh, man. Oh,
We are
no.
literally fucking darkness and a prism and and a rainbow of light.
Oh my
Christ.
goodness.
Baby
So,
Gilmore softly plays in the background.
Let's go.
Yeah, I think as you reach back, you do feel a cool hand wrap around yours.
I don't think the camera necessarily needs to see exactly what it looks like as Marnie goes through the door, but I think that we focus on her eyes, and I think that as she passes through the threshold, her eyes kind of go cloudy and then completely white, and then they look pearlescent with the colors swirling.
Sick as hell.
Hell yeah.
Sick as hell.
I think around the edges of the doorframe too, as opposed to the shadows getting washed out, I think there is a harsh definition at your back, allowing that other presence in through the door.
Yeah, it's like the brighter the light and the color gets, the deeper and darker the shadows get.
Hell yeah. So, what do y'all do now that you're here?
What a fun question.
Me rubbing my hands together. I think that people start to realize that there are a lot more stars out there than they thought. I'm thinking very heavily of Soundgarden when I invoke this, but I think people also start to perceive what's within the insides of black holes.
People become more aware of their shadows. They become a tangible thing. And maybe people feel less alone because there's always this presence behind them in their shadow. And for some people, that's a comfort. And for some people, that's absolutely terrifying.
Oh, yeah, no.
Ooh.
Within and without, there is no escape and no way to retreat back into yourself.
Yeah. And in the same way that the stars are all brighter and there's more of them, and yet they can see what's in a black hole, you can also see the sheer expanse of space between. And there is no escaping how insignificant a person feels when confronted with the sheer expanse of the universe. And for all that there are billions of stars out there, there is even more darkness in between them.
Hell yeah.
Pew pew, finger gun.
Did we do it? Did we make our universe arguably better / worse?
We definitely did something.
I think we
Yeah.
did something. Yeah, I would argue worse. A little.
I think it really depends on what level of awareness you're operating on about the place of humanity in the cosmos.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Mhm.
I think astronomers are having a great time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They're living. There's so much out there.
Like third eye fully opened, you
Yeah.
know, just like crowing about, I was right.
Deep field telescopes seeing so much more all of a sudden. They've got the technology now.
Yep.
Yeah. I think it is that in the way that some people, I think it's like nihilism in that some people find it very freeing and some people find it absolutely terrifying and paralyzing.
Oh yeah.
And it's those extremes of just like how much there is out there and how much emptiness there is out there and what that means for an individual and the choices that people might make as a result of it. But it's like the whole thing in like Lovecraft, just like there is no escaping that knowledge anymore.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It is unavoidable. There are millions and billions of stars out there, and they're looking at you.
The doors are open.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. I've decided in canon that Umbra definitely tried to convince Jay and Barry to invite them in at one point, and that's why the whole thing with Peter's shadow comes from.
Nice.
Hell yes.
Me filing away color under blue and trying to figure out how the hell I'm going to fit them anywhere else.
Good luck. Have fun with
Good
that.
luck.
That said, I mean, August created a death goddess, and now she's a major part of the mythos of the FTL wider universe.
Incredible.
We also could always play, you can check out anytime you like, and the color under blue would be perfect in that.
geez.
Yes, absolutely.
That's very true.
Absolutely.
All
You
right.
should do a sign off, my friends.
Yeah. This has been Things Eldritch and Terrifying. You can find it at harpydora.itch.io if you enjoyed it. This has been the 3-player variant. There's a 2-player variant and a 4-player variant, and I also have notes in there that you could probably play this with vampires if you wanted to. It doesn't have to be an Eldritch Horror dating simulator. It can be a vampire dating simulator too. I've been August. You can still find me on Tumblr at Strange Harpy, on Blue Sky at Harpydora, and playing with me today in reverse order has been Jade.
What up? I'm Jade. It's only just occurring to me that I gave this character the name of my superhero character from Anyone Can Wear the Mask. This is great because she was also a massive lesbian. So these things work out for the best. You can find me online at Jade Oxford Rose. And please check out Sagas of the Sunless Reach.
Yes.
The Pathfinder actual play that myself and Corey play with Zach and our friends Bitmap and Mab.
Hell yeah. And as has been mentioned previously, we were also joined by Corey.
Hey folks, this is Corey. Find me on cohost.org/mythynym. I have so much I need to think about now. I've received an assault upon the senses, partially self-inflicted, partially just kind of overall. I'm living it. I'm loving it. But also, goddamn.
always ending every fucking Follow the Leader recording in one state of existential crisis or another at this point.
Yeah.
Every single time, I feel like I am just deconstructed. I am presented the self being exposed.
Guys, play tabletop game.
Please experience this. It's a great feeling.
Yes. All right. Well, shall we clap?
Yay,
That
clapping
is how
time.
we do this.
Applause.